Hi everyone, it's Laura, and this is Book Talk for teens at Grundy Library. So today we are going to discuss the book Stamped. Stamped is by Jason Reynolds and by Dr. Ibram X. Kendi. So Stamped is a remix of a book that Dr. Kendi wrote a few years ago that talked about racism in America. This book is a remix, like I said, and is meant for ages 12 and up. It starts off by saying it's not a history book, but I would have to say that it is kind of a history book, I'm sorry. But it was a really, really good and a really, really important history book. So it's for ages 12 plus. You can find the audiobook and the ebook available through Cloud Library. It's a history narrative that is often not discussed within our middle schools and high schools, but is a very, very important discussion that we do need to have. I feel like as I was reading this book, it opened more questions for me than it did answers. The main point is trying to make a difference between assimilation, segregation, and anti-racist thought. Because the first two can often lead to additional racism that's not meant, but does actually occur. I think this book is extremely timely, given everything that's been happening in our country the last week, and honestly the last few years. And honestly, the entire history of our country, if you read through this book. But it's conversations we need to have. And I think the fact that they've remixed this for middle school and high school is excellent, because at that point, you guys as teens, you guys as citizens of this country have an opportunity to start having discussions earlier. That is going to make it so that way you can have the ability to change things, to have important conversations earlier, so that way you can avoid some of the problems that we currently are experiencing. And I hope that you do have an opportunity to read this book. Like I said, it's on Cloud Library. And once we're back open and in our building, you'll be able to rent it from us as well, because we have it in our collection as well. So if you want an important read, if you want a read that gets you thinking about this discussion and everything that's happening in this country right now in a different way, to have a better understanding of why people are reacting the way they're reacting, then I really suggest that you read the book Stamped, and that you read it critically, read it with your mind open. Write down your questions. Little Brown House, Little Brown Publishers, they put out a stamped educator's guide, and it has a lot more questions for you to think about as you're reading through the different chapters. And I really appreciated the ability to read through that afterwards, to start being able to think through things in a different way. So this is Laura, and I really highly recommend that you read Stamped, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye for now.